Listen to this. A farmer had a faithful dog named Sultan. He'd been a good dog, but he was old and couldn't hold on to anything with his teeth anymore, nor could he cover the ground at a respectable pace. So the farmer said to his wife, "I'm going to shoot old Sultan. He's no use to us anymore." His wife replied, "Don't you dare, farmer. He's been a good dog to us all his life. He's earned his old age pension." "You're off your rocker, flower," the husband said. "What use is he? There's not a tooth left in his head. No thief would be frightened off by old Sultan. What could he do? Suck their leg? If he served us well, he's done it because he was on a good number here. He's enjoyed a lifetime of handsome dinners from us. Tomorrow's his last day, and that's the end of that." Even with his moderately reduced hearing, the dog had overheard everything that they discussed, and was, as you can imagine, thoroughly depressed by this turn of events. And it sounded like he was going to miss rice pudding on Friday this week. The dog had a good friend in the wolf. He went out to see him in the evening and bemoaned his fate, and told him his master was going to shoot him the next day, and he was going to miss his rice pudding, and it looked like this was goodbye. Auf Wiedersehen, au revoir, the last woof. "Settle down, my mate, and listen to this," the wolf said. "I'm going to give you a good plan. Early tomorrow morning, your master will be going out with his wife to make hay, and they'll take their baby with them, because nobody will be staying at home. They leave the child behind the hedge while they work. Now, you've to lie down next to the child as if you want to rest and guard him. I'll come out of the forest and steal the baby. Then you jump up and run after me and chase me away. They'll believe that you rescued their child, and you'll be well in their good books, and they'll give you anything you want for the rest of your life." Under the circumstances, the dog thought this plan a stroke of genius, and it was carried out just as they'd conceived it. The wolf ran off a short distance, and when the dog, wheezing like a charity shop foot pump, overtook him, the wolf dropped the child, and the dog brought him back to his master in his soft, slobbery, toothless mouth. Whereupon the man cried out in a very loud voice, "Well done, our Sultan, you've chased away the wolf once again. Wife, I'm gonna go home and cook him a dinner he can easily swallow. Also, he can have my pillow. He's to have it for his bed as long as he lives. You were right all along. The old chap's more than earned his pension." All of a sudden, old Sultan had it so good that he couldn't have wished for a better life. The wolf came to him and was delighted to learn that everything had succeeded so well. "Now then, old Sultan, you're enjoying these present circumstances on account of me, don't forget. And without my brilliant plan, you'd be pushing up a small crop of daisies somewhere. So, it's only fair that you look the other way while I steal a big, fat, juicy sheep from your gaffer." But Sultan prided himself on his faithful service and couldn't countenance such a breach of the common rules. So Sultan stayed close to the sheep and fretted, and by this means managed to communicate an appropriate warning of the threat to the farmer. The man waited for the wolf in the barn, and when the wolf came, intent on a good bite of sheep, the farmer practically skinned him alive. Later, the wolf was so outraged at this perceived betrayal that he scolded old Sultan. He was livid and called him a miserable turncoat and blamed him for the soreness in all his places with which the farmer had managed to become acquainted. The next morning, the wolf sent the boar to challenge Sultan to come into the wood to fight a duel, to settle things. They were to take their positions right outside the forest, and each one was to bring a second with him. The wolf was the first one at the place and had brought the wild boar as his second. And old Sultan had struggled for support and had only been able to recruit the farmer's three-legged cat based on some dubious promises. And finally, he set out with her. When the wolf and the boar saw the cat coming toward them, constantly limping, they thought that she was picking up stones to throw at them, and they both became jumpy. So the wild boar crawled into some bushes and the wolf shot up a tree and peeked out at the unfolding situation from behind his tail. When the dog and cat reached the spot, they were both puzzled to find nobody there. However, the boar in the bushes, who'd been trying to keep quiet, was suddenly overcome by a fierce itching from behind the ear which wouldn't wait to be scratched. And when the cat saw something move in the bush, she sprang on top of the boar and bit and clawed him as best she could with the limited number of claws she had available. Consequently, the boar leapt into the air with a loud cry and ran away. As he was running, he yelled out, "It's not me you want to be pasting, it's that wolf up there in the tree." And now, all could see that the cowardly wolf had retreated in fear, and the only way he would be allowed down from the tree was by agreeing to a peaceful settlement. And he was heartily ashamed of himself, and promised in the end to be good friends again with old Sultan.